Hi grown-ups. It's time for another edition of Ways to Learn at Home with your preschooler. If you've been watching our virtual preschool videos with your kiddo, you've probably noticed a handful of activities that I use a little noodle box for. And this is just a whole bunch of dyed noodles, and then I hide little things inside and we do activities with it with the kids. It adds a little sensory element to all of our activities, and so the kids are getting a little bit extra out of something that would typically be a pretty basic activity. So today I wanted to show you the steps that you'll need to do if you want to make your own noodle box. This one you can tell there's several different types of noodles. They're all different colors. You're basically just going to separate whatever noodles you have at home into as many different Ziploc bags as colors that you're going to want to do. So if you want to do just red, yellow, blue, you're going to need 3 bags and a box of noodles. This little box is pretty small, and I can use this when I'm doing the preschool activities, but I usually in our classroom keep all of our sensory activities in these really big underbed storage boxes. I can't remember how many like 1-pound boxes of noodles it took to fill this. My guess would be around 4 to 6. So if you want to have a huge, big sensory box like this, it will be so fun. Your kids are going to come back to it over and over and over again. So let me show you how to dye the noodles, and then I'll give you a couple of ideas of what you can use this noodle box for and how you can use it at home with your preschooler. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is get your dry noodles and put them into a Ziploc bag. So this is about 1/4 of a box of rigatoni noodles. They're just dry noodles. And you're going to need just the teensiest little bit of vinegar just to keep everything kind of wet. You can also use rubbing alcohol, but if you have little ones at home that are still exploring with their mouth, the vinegar is going to keep this super taste safe. We want to make sure we're careful about that. So I'm just going to pour a tiny bit. I'm talking like maybe a tablespoon. You do not want very much. So a tablespoon of vinegar, and then I'm going to get out my food coloring. I'm going to put a lot of drops of food coloring into my bag. So like 25, 30 drops. Like you want it to be pretty saturated so that it can color all of the noodles. Once we've got all of the drops of food coloring in here, we're just going to smash this bag and mush everything together. This is a part that your child could help you with. So I'm going to zip it closed, get the air out, and then we're just going to mush it together. And this is going to spread around the vinegar, it's going to spread around the food coloring. We want it to be all over the noodles. So it looks about like this, okay? Mush it all together. Once you get to this stage, you're going to dump this out onto a pan that you've put parchment paper or paper towels or something to protect your pan from all the food dye. I usually just spread it out on a cookie sheet with paper towels, and you leave it like that for, I don't know, overnight, a day. If they start to stick together, you can break it apart with your hand and let them dry without sticking together. But even if they do stick together, you can break them up once they're in the box. So at this point, you dump it out onto the pan, you let it dry overnight. You can do this with lots of different bags. You can spread them all out on paper towels across your counter overnight. They should be ready to go the next morning. I've noticed that with the vinegar, it can take a little bit longer for them to dry out. It seems like with rubbing alcohol, it goes a little bit faster. I think the rubbing alcohol evaporates a little bit quicker. So for activities that you can do once your noodles are all dry, the one that I have in here right now are tongs, which are going to be really good motor practice. And we've got letters from a puzzle. So I got like this super cheapy puzzle at, I think, Dollar Tree with all of the alphabet letters. And so the kids can look for letters inside of our noodle box and then match it onto the puzzle. And so it just adds a little extra element. You might have a puzzle like this at home already, and maybe the kids have gotten bored of it. Dump the pieces into a noodle box. They will suddenly be interested again. I also like to put matching games in here. If you ever have those matching games that are just a whole bunch of little tiles that are matching pictures, dump them out in here, mix it all up, and let the kids dig through the noodles to search for the matches. This is just a really, really quick and easy sensory bin activity. You can put scoops in here. You can turn it into noodle soup with little pans and bowls and spoons. This is just really, really fun. The kids love our sensory boxes. So this is a really easy one that you can do at home to start with. And then I'll show you in a couple of other videos different sensory bins that we use with other materials. Like I said, this one is taste safe for your little ones, and you've got a lot of ways that you can use it. So I hope that you will enjoy making a noodle box, either a huge one or just a small little single size one, to use at home with your preschoolers. Happy learning! Good luck!